So I'm actually going to show you all real quick the video that is circulating of a 16-year-old boy who has pushed from the top of the stairs all the way down to the bottom a 68-year-old woman who just happened to be going to church. He ended up robbing her and whatnot. I'm gonna go and play that video for you, and then I have an article that is going to follow. So you all have just seen the video of him pushing her down the stairs and then running off with her purse and other little items that she had. All right, let's add some context to this. So the 16-year-old boy, whose name is Javon Prince, at first, because they were like, oh, he's underage and we can't really disclose his name. We found it. Okay. His name is Javon Prince, was arrested for shoving 68-year-old woman down the steps of her Queens church and snatching her purse over the weekend. The teen was hit with several charges, including robbery and assault, over the attack outside St. Demetrios Greek Orthodox Church in Briarwood, the cops said. Surveillance video, as you all see, he pushed her down. He ended up snatching her purse, which contained cash, a cell phone, a credit card, and car keys, and he drove away in her 2006 Nissan Altima. Prince's location, this is the 16-year-old boy, was also charged with grand larceny and criminal possession of stolen property. And I believe there should be some attempted murder charges in here, because the way that she fell, her head, if this is the concrete, it like smacked really hard on it. All right. And she ended up being in critical condition. Also, she is an elderly woman as well. All right. So I'm looking like this. Can we get some murder charges or attempted murder charges up in here? Because you thought of doing this. This should be first degree, but let's continue. A man who identified himself as a relative of the victim applauded the arrest of us in a social media post. And this is what he said. He said, "The low life is off of our streets for now, and we are hoping the system will actually do its job this time. We're tired of seeing criminals walk free because of our soft on crime laws." And I completely 100% agree with that. That is a lot of the stuff that we are seeing. Look at the New York men punching these women. Oh, well, it's a misdemeanor. I mean, we don't have to grant him. He could just go out. You assaulted someone and you could just walk free. You almost killed this woman and you could just walk free. He said, he later followed up and said, "This thug is another example of how petty criminals feel bold enough to escalate their crimes, knowing they'll likely get off with a slap on the wrist. Despite this, there seems to be a lack of urgency from both Albany and NYC to implement the necessary legal reforms to ensure the individuals are held accountable." The rules come from Albany down. Okay. So that's why he was mentioning that. Something I also wanted to mention is how you have a lot of these old heads, I guess you can say, or the older generation of Ray-Rays and Pookies, how they're recruiting the younger generation of Ray-Rays and Pookies. They're recruiting them. They're saying, yo, if I do the crime, my 30-year-old self, if I do the crime, then I'm going to go and get 15 years. But if your 16-year-old self commits a crime, you'll probably do only like 2 months, some community service, So I can't put my life on the line. But, I mean, you should be able to do it, right? Right. So the lady, she remains in a hospital to this day, and she is in critical condition, like I mentioned, and there's also a GoFundMe page for it. Her name is Irene Taliambaris. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But I have an update. This Javon Prince, 16 years old, he took off as he's in custody. He took his shirt off and wrapped it around his neck inside the NYPD's 107th Precinct Station House. All right. He was trying to, you know what? He was brought out on a stretcher and hospitalized, but there were no serious injuries at all. So he tried to go in, end his own suffering, self-inflicted suffering, and he was unsuccessful at doing that. Like the person who knew this lady, or who knows this lady, Irene, like he said, nothing would change unless these laws and rules change. You can't just keep allowing people to commit a crime, be out, commit a crime, be out, commit a crime, be out, and then it's nothing. You're allowing these juveniles to have these soft sentences. And I'm just like, what? Oh, you murdered someone. Oh, well, I mean, oh, they have a bright future ahead of them. They're only 14 or 10. I mean, fine, just give them 4 years. What? Meanwhile, an 18-year-old person go and kill someone. Oh, I mean, we got to give you 20 years, man. You kill somebody. What? Some of these people don't even get, they get like, community service and house arrest. And you giving these other people who commit these different kinds of crimes, house arrest and all this other stuff. And it's like, how do you expect anyone to take any of these laws seriously if you're that soft on crime? But let me know what you all think about that story down below.